We've been optimistic since about March the 16th, because March the 16th was the day that the Fed came in full force. They shot the bazooka, to use their expression, of all kinds of monetary stimulus. And March 16th or 17th was really the bottom of the market. It was the bottom of the market as the debt capital markets had frozen up. Liquidity was in question and the stock market was in free fall. Since then, the market has steadily improved, and there's certain objective pieces of evidence about there.
Customers that we called for on-demand ordering cashless systems. So the diversification is huge. I think that's one of the benefits of this. Even though the market is down right now, it kind of forces you different markets, different products that you're offering. It's one of the positives, I guess, of COVID.
We've been using this lockdown period to actually overlay a whole new technology platform tied to being consumer-facing and self-service. We'll talk more about that. And we've devised an entire new digital marketing campaign suited to the times.
What % of your students and or employees are returning to campus on your individual campus?
This year, with the hybrid model, the estimate is around 20,000 students are on campus at any point during the day. They are all taking no more than one in-person class.
We're approximately about 8,000 total, but we are offering a hybrid model where it's kind of block classes, certain days during class, and then certain days they're operating virtually.
Our buses operate very similar to gasoline buses and take about the same amount of time to fuel. We immediately started seeing the fuel savings once we started converting. Auto gas does burn hotter than gasoline, but it burns much cleaner and is gentler on the engines. This has led to mechanical savings as well. In fact, the oil looks like new when my buses are due for service.
If you are looking at changing a curb, what you need to do is to figure out, number one, what is it being used for the highest and best use right now? So if you have a business that moves in or something happens that changes the dynamic of the curb, really it's a give and take between the community and the city. It's relatively easy to change, to put up the signs and make the change and then start enforcing. The difficult part is trying to figure out, is everybody on board? Does it make sense? And, are we willing to do it?
Becoming an NPA Safe Park participant provides a number of benefits to NPA parking operators. The program provides a consolidated list of industry guidelines as a complement to your organization's practices. It provides a vetted industry approach and resources for sanitization practices and operating guidelines. Parking operators need to be able to demonstrate to their customers, clients, and members of the general public that they manage a clean, safe, and sanitary operation.
Yeah, so best practices obviously are all surrounding safety, right? Ensuring that our safety and training department was on the up and up with the latest CDC and WHO requirements and best practices, and just maintaining a communication.
When this COVID hit, getting out of our safe space, that's what we had to do. We were kind of, valet, it's going strong. Now we've diversified the product, we've diversified the market, and you got to get out of your safe space.
It's interesting what we're hearing from the audience. So 92% of us are saying that people will be less likely to take transit, raising parking demands. And then about 50% of folks are saying that people are going to travel less frequently to campus, lowering our demand. So that's interesting. And no one said that that no long-term behavior changes will occur.
How is COVID going to reshape U.S. cities? And there's certain aspects of, pull of the suburbs, or are more things going to go back to the suburbs? Cities still have a lot of pulls, so is that really going to change? So one of the things this article talked about was actually that cities will probably become younger. Cities which have become prohibitively expensive to live in because the demand for housing in cities might all of a sudden be cheaper to live in. And so maybe we'll see the younger part of the workforce have more ability to stay in the cities.
So on the data side, I think it's important for us to really, as an industry, understand the type of data that we need to solve the problem. From a privacy point of view, I don't think there's a lot of interest, or quite frankly, a lot of wiggle room to be able to get very detailed location tracking data, nor should we do that. But being able to understand on a smaller set of data attributes, are you a delivery group? Are you a personal user? Are you in a rideshare or taxi? That type of mode usage, I think, is very relevant.
The question is, how do you think travel behavior on your campus will be impacted in the long term post-COVID?
We had a mass exodus in late March, but essential personnel remained on campus. We have a hospital, level 1 trauma center. So population about 30% remained. And rather than the old 50% drive alone grade, nobody was taking public transit. Nobody was riding van pools. So that switched to 90% of those that remained were driving and parking.